Hello, and welcome to the new series of my podcast called Friends in 3D. My name is Katya, or Katya 3D on Instagram, and I'm very excited to introduce you to this podcast because here I will be speaking with bright and talented people from the community I belong to: artists, photographers, poets, and musicians. And before we dive into this world, let me explain. A few years ago, I have fallen in love with Queen's music, and this changed my life completely. Usually, when I am really preoccupied with something, be it a book, a TV series, or a band, I usually dig very deep and try to learn about it as much as I can. This is what happened this time. Very soon I found out that Brian May, the guitarist of Queen, had recently published a book, Queen in 3D. In this book, he presented the 3D or stereo photos that he took over the years of their shows and touring. The book came with a stereoscope that allowed me to see the photos in 3D. An owl viewer, that's the name of the stereoscope, designed by Dr. May himself. Also, I found out that Dr. May is actually a stereo photographer himself, and that he is promoting stereo photography for the people of the 21st century. Needless to say, I was blown away. It felt like plunging both into Queen history in real time and going back into my own early years when I admired the stereo matte slides sets, very similar to the Viewmaster, so that's something that many of you probably know very well. Of course, the very ability to take 3D photos seemed to be an unachievable superpower, until I started following Brian May on Instagram and saw that many of his fans were taking stereo photos as well. I did some research, watched the tutorials posted by Dr. May on his channel, where he explained how to make stereo photos with just your phone. I realized that you don't need a special camera for this. It was very tempting to try it out, and this is how my journey in 3D started 3 years ago. I followed other stereo enthusiasts on Instagram. I started posting my own stereos. I met people, I learned, and eventually, when I got better myself, I helped others. After a while, I found myself among a wonderful crowd of like-minded people, a community that turned out to cover the whole world. I met stereo masters and artists, some of them even in person. When the pandemic started, many stereo clubs and conventions switched to the online format, and so I was able to meet even more people by Zoom. And so, when I started making podcasts, I came up with the idea of chatting with my friends from our Instagram, 3D, and Queen community. All of them are ardent enthusiasts of stereo photography, art, and music. All of them support and inspire me daily, and I am very grateful and happy to have this opportunity to talk to them, as well as to showcase their art. Just to explain a couple of technical terms that we will be using throughout this series, stereo photos that most of us are taking are stereo pairs, two almost identical photos posted side by side. To view them, you either need a stereoscope, for example an owl viewer developed by Dr. Brian May, or a special techniques called free view or free viewing. To do it, you need either to relax your eyes or cross them. This way, two parts of a stereo are fused into one 3D photo, which is always an amazing and incredible moment, which Dr. May calls a wow moment. Please see the links in the description of the episode for more information. I will post the links to the London Stereoscopic Company, where you can read more about the way you can view the stereos, and also the link to the YouTube tutorial by Dr. May, where you can see how to take stereo photos on your own. And finally, I want to thank all of my guests for participating in this podcast, and also all of my friends from Team Stereoscopy community, London Stereoscopic Company, for their stereo viewers, their brilliant books, and their everlasting support of our community. And of course, Dr. Brian May, without whom none of these conversations could happen. Thank you all so much, and enjoy.